Escape room workers of Reddit, what's the most absurd thing players have done? Someone cleared all the boxes and locks off of a table in the corner, laid down on it, and went to sleep until the group escaped. I went to one where there were 3 identical rooms, which teams competed in at the same time. If you finished you then got to watch and listen to the other teams. Our team did pretty well, and we got to watch the other 2 teams try to complete it. Anyway, there was this one lock which was a number combination, and you solved it by finding some sheet music in a book, with 5 notes on it, which corresponded to numbers. The piece was entitled, "The Key," or something similar, so you knew you needed it for the lock. Anyway, this other team, instead of converting to numbers and putting in the combination, chanted this 5-note tune at the lock. When it did not work, they tried again, then someone else tried. This went on for 10 minutes, and got louder and louder. Eventually the game master stepped in and told them it was not going to work. Apparently they were the only team ever to do that. People have tried to climb through the ceiling tiles on multiple occasions. We now have to mention in the pre-game spiel that it's not necessary to climb through the ceiling tiles. My job often reminds me of the scene in The Office. People laugh at the things we mention, but anything we mention that you don't have to do has probably been attempted before. One of my co-workers said that a group started getting really destructive in the room, to the point where they literally threw the computer on the floor to see if something was hidden inside. There wasn't anything hidden inside. They need to use a special magnifying glass to read the monitor. We abruptly removed them from the room after that. They actually ended up coming back another day, and were extremely well behaved. I guess they learned their lesson. Employee here. One group gave up after 5 minutes, and decided to drink alcohol rest of the game. They paid $120 for the game. Escape room enthusiast here. We spent far more time than I care to admit trying to figure out what the hell the numbers written in Sharpie on the underside of the rug in the middle of the room meant. Turns out, they were an inventory number from the thrift store the designer bought the thing from, and nobody else had ever noticed them before. We still won, but that wasted a lot of our time. I once had a group of drunk guys go in, and they ran through their allotted hints pretty quickly. They asked for another hint, and we said over the speakers that they were out of hints. One of the guys threatened to start taking off his clothes until we gave another hint. I went to a space-themed escape room, and there was a space suit, and I put it on. It didn't help us solve anything. When we finished, I asked, "Do people normally put this suit on?" The guy said, "It's not against the rules, but you're the first person to do it." Had a group come in. I noticed they had been drinking a little, but seemed mostly fine, so I let them into the room and start the clock. They were just wandering around. At the half-an-hour mark they were laying on the floor and rolling around. They didn't do any harm to the room. I don't remember if they even solved one puzzle. When I let them out after an hour, they claimed it was fun, but they didn't really do anything. And did they remember it the next day? I don't know. Mate worked at an escape room, and he told me that some guys tried to smash a hole in the wall to get out, because it was an Alcatraz-themed room. I don't work at one, but my co-worker went to one last year, and his story was hilarious. He's a really serious guy from Boston, got talked into going to one with his wife and a few old friends that had come down for vacation. He said as soon as they walked in he saw a broom that looked completely out of place, so he grabbed it. He thought they'd need it at some point. They made it out of the first room. They go to the second room, and he's still got the broom. He swears it was just too out of place to not be part of the puzzle at some point. They make it through the second room. The third room, they get stuck. They're reading the clues over and over, and he gets fixated on the broom, while everyone else is searching the room. He's looking it over up and down, checking the handle for markings. Mind you, he has terrible near-sight vision, and checking the bristles. Time's running out, and he's arguing with his wife at this point that the broom has the final clue. Time runs up. They walk out and the crew is just dying laughing at him. Someone left the broom by mistake, nothing more, nothing less. He carried that damn broom through 3 rooms. He got a good laugh about it later, but he was embarrassed at the time. It was a great story, he told the next morning at work. Oh my god, my time has come. People do dumb shit in escape rooms constantly, but that's the whole point. and it's usually in good fun. The best part of my old escape room job was that it was literally right next door to a brothel. People would frequently come to our door not realizing that they were one door over from where they wanted to be and ask, "Hey, how much?" Me in my customer service voice, "Well, it depends on how many people you bring. It's $40 each if you're a group of 2, and goes down to $32 each if you're a group of 8. Usually we recommend groups of 4 to 6 people. That seems to be the sweet spot. Their looks of horror will make me laugh forever." In the Netherlands there is this prison escape room, where everyone is a prisoner and you have to escape prison. It is done in an actual ancient prison. There are about 300 participants, and 85 actors, mostly prison guards and some prisoners. They have over 15 storylines, which you can follow, and there are other inmates, actors, which will lead those storylines, and send you on quests. Coming back to the question, at the beginning they warned everyone that no physical contact is allowed, because during the first time people would actually threaten each other to get money, and guards have been attacked. Also they had to warn people that you weren't supposed to try climbing the 50 feet high prison wall. One time, a group was trying to figure out the code to a locked compartment, so this huge guy in the group decided this was a waste of time, and tried to rip off the compartment door with his bare hands. He was almost successful, but we stopped him before he could do further damage to the door. He didn't understand what was wrong. Another one happened, where a group were handcuffed, and they couldn't find the key. The game master was trying to give them clues to find the key, but they still couldn't find it, so one group member thought it would be best to use his leg. There was a table in the room with some items on it. He proceeded to knock over all the items with one kick. That group didn't win. At an escape room near me, they had a group of lads on a stag do. These guys got very drunk, and during the escape room, thought they could escape via the sewers. They managed to rip out the manhole cover, which was bolted down into concrete. This cover is now permanently broken as it's too expensive to fix. They said, advised us to not escape via the sewers. Not an escape room worker, but second time I went to one, the owner told me that once a group decided to smash all the locks, because they found the hammer, on which a clue is written. They had to replace all locks, and it is now a toy hammer. I'd like to say those people were morons, but when we found out the same idea was discussed in our group. Thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.